everybody, to Children's Story. How are you all today? Good, good. How many of you like to play games? What's your favorite, let me ask you this question. What's your favorite board game? Yes? Monopoly. Let me give you the mic. Say that again.
Monopoly.
Monopoly, okay. Well, I want to tell you a little bit about, I forgot to do it. Thank you. All right, now I'm on the mic. So my question was, how many of you like to play board games, and what's your name? JD. He said he liked to play Monopoly. Well, let me tell you a little story about when I was a little boy, and I also like to play Monopoly. You know, it's kind of fun to see all of the different colors, right? And there's different little houses and hotels that you can put on things. Well, my dad had a game of Monopoly, and I took it out of his closet, which was okay. He said I could do that. And I love to pull out the cards, and I like to play with the little money. And I was playing with it one day in my room. And you know that each one of those little squares on the Monopoly board has a card that goes with it, right? And if you lose one of the cards, what happens to the whole game? Can you play the game? It's very difficult to play the game when you don't have the right equipment. So I would always remember, and I can't remember now, but I would remember how many cards there was to make sure that it was all put back. Because if you missed something, I know that my dad would be upset because I would have ruined his game. Is that right? These are my two kids, Ashley and Ryan. She knows about that. Okay. So one day I was playing with it, and I put it all away. And when I went to go look through the cards, I noticed there was one card missing. And I went through it, and I could figure out that the card, that little property card that was missing was the orange card. Do you guys know which the orange cards are? Can you memorize those ones? Go ahead. No, oh, you're talking about the little chance cards. No, I was talking about the property cards. The one that was missing was New York Avenue. I'll never forget it. New York Avenue was missing. And I searched my whole room looking for New York Avenue. I'll never forget that. And I got to the point where it was time for go to school, and I was a very sad boy because I knew that somewhere I had lost the card, and I went to school very troubled. And I came home from school still looking, and I finally got to the point where I almost was crying. I was in tears, and I laid on my bed, and I prayed to God that I would find this card. Now, unbeknownst to me, my mother had done the laundry, and she had changed the linen on my bed. And guess what she found when she had changed the linen on my bed? The card. And you know what she did with that card? She took that card, and in my room, I had a cork board that I would pin things up on. She took that card, and she put it up on the cork board, and she put a push pin right through the top of it. And there it was on my cork board. But you know what? I couldn't see it. And I couldn't see it until I had gotten into my bed and laid back. And as soon as I closed my eyes and prayed, as soon as I opened my eyes, guess what my eyes saw? The card. It was an instantaneous answer to prayer. And I had said to myself, if only I had prayed sooner, I wouldn't have gone through so much distress. So that Monopoly game is still around. I think it's at my dad's house. And I love to pull out that game, not to play Monopoly, but to go through those cards. And what do you think I look for when I go through those cards now? I look for New York Avenue, because guess what I see at the top of New York Avenue? I see the little hole that my mother did when I was a little boy, and I saw the push pin. Do you know, folks, when we go to heaven and we sit on Jesus' lap and we cuddle up next to him, do you know what we're going to see in his hands? We're going to see the little hole. Yes, we're going to see the little hole in his hands. And you know what that's going to remind us of? The day that Jesus died for our sins because he loves us so much. Thank you so much.